the Women's Agenda Leadership Awards. We made it for another year. Firstly, I want to say a huge thank you to Shaylin, Lily Grace and Alina for extending that beautiful acknowledgement to country and Alina's beautiful tribute to her mother. It's wonderful to have so many students and their teachers from the Melbourne Indigenous Transition School here with us again as our guests for the second year. And I too would like to acknowledge the traditional owners of the land we're meeting on tonight, the Wurundjeri people of the Kulin Nation, and pay my respects to elders past and present. While there are still 2 months left in this year, 2024 has already felt like a decade's worth of headlines, some hopeful, some harrowing, and everything in between. But no matter what the story is, when you dig deeper, you'll always find women at the heart of the change. They're picking up the pieces and they're driving solutions. Take Jennifer Robinson, for example, who we are really privileged to have as our keynote speaker here tonight. For over a decade, she served as a pro bono legal advisor to Julian Assange and WikiLeaks, defending the fundamental rights of journalists and free speech. Earlier this year, after 14 long years, Jennifer helped secure Assange's return to Australian soil through a plea deal, allowing him to walk free from a London prison. It's been a relentless pursuit. It's been a relentless pursuit of justice, and one that really shines a light on the critical need to protect journalism and truth-telling across the globe. While there are still battles ahead in this regard, Jen's dedication to human rights and her commitment to fighting for the freedom of journalists has never wavered. Her work serves as a reminder of the power one person can have in shaping a fairer world, even in the face of the most extreme adversity. Jen's leadership shines through in her latest book, How Many More Women?, co-authored with Kaina Yoshida. In the uncensored and unredacted edition that some of you have on your tables tonight, lucky you, Robinson breaks open the systemic silencing of women by legal systems worldwide. The book exposes how the very laws meant to protect women often reinforce their oppression. As survivors who speak out are met with legal threats and defamation cases. Of course, we've seen this recently in the Brittany Higgins case in Australia. Jen challenges us to rethink how the legal system fails women, and she urges us to create a world where their voices are truly heard and respected. And of course, it's fitting that Jen is here with us tonight as we recognise the impact of women's leadership and highlight the emerging female leaders who, like her, are charting new territory. To all the finalists, thank you and congratulations. Tonight we are here to celebrate you, your tenacity and incredible contributions. Win or lose, this night is about honouring your talent and recognising the difference you're making. We hope you take a moment to breathe, let it all sink in and truly enjoy every second of tonight. To our sponsors, including the amazing team at CommBank Women in Focus, thank you for headlining this event for the third year. We love the work you do and the work that we are able to do together. And to our category and charity partners, CSIRO, Mecca Empower, Charles Sturt University and Salesforce, as well as the Ovarian Cancer Research Foundation, we are so thankful to work with businesses and institutions that genuinely walk the talk where these issues are concerned. Now I'll hand over to Ange, my work wife, to share more on Women's Agenda and the why behind this event.
Good evening, everybody, and thank you so much for being here at the Women's Agenda Leadership Awards. This is number
245.
Well, so we're here to give out some wallas, as we like to say. The Women's Agenda Leadership Awards, in case that didn't make any sense at all. We are co-founders on Agenda Media, and as co-founders, Tarla and I do have the privilege of connecting and sharing the stories of extraordinary women every day. We have been telling these stories now for more than 12 years. We are an independent, we are women-owned and run media organisation, and we are very proud to be so, with no outside investment. So we're very happy and proud of what we do. And every day we aim to ensure the impacts on women and girls are considered in the latest developments across politics, business, climate, leadership, tech and health. And we try also to outline the latest ideas and solutions for closing the gaps as well. So we are now reaching up to 1 million women every month. So again, we're really proud, and please go and tell your friends and your neighbours and everyone in your lives. We want more readers. We want more people to subscribe to that daily update. But what we now know is more evident than ever is that even in the face of adversity and uncertainty, we continue to see women rise, inspire and pull us through. And it's hard to gloss over the vast and multifaceted challenges that seem to be growing in intensity by the second and impacting women the hardest. So everything from climate change, conflict, inequality and economic uncertainty. For women and girls, these are all threat multipliers. And we all know that Australia in 2024 is not where it should or where it could be. We know that more women increasingly are experiencing economic hardship in line with the cost of living crisis. We know the extent of women being affected by violence, with 55 women killed by violence so far this year. We need to get that to zero. And as we've seen from the past couple of weeks, we know that women and girls in Australia are increasingly at risk of seeing hard-fought rights that have been achieved disappearing or being used as political tools. A good example is in Queensland with the upcoming election. If you're not familiar with the Katter Australia Party, go and have a look at it. You'll see 5 men having a little think about the future for women and girls up there. So you can go and have a think about and look at that. So we know that rising concerns about misinformation and disinformation, tools that really have for centuries been used to stifle women, but they're much easier to use now. And in business and leadership, we know that the numbers have hardly budged across most sectors in terms of women's represented in the highest leadership positions. The glass cliff phenomenon is at work, where there seems to be a direct correlation between a woman being appointed CEO in Australia just as there's a crisis occurring, and typically within weeks of a company needing to get up and give some kind of public and uncomfortable apology and possibly appear in front of a Senate inquiry as well. And we know business founders also, women business founders continue to not get access to the investment that they need or that they should have to be able to contribute to innovation in Australia. And also, I'm sure all of us can relate to this, we know how careful a woman aspiring for leadership has to be to not be branded as too bossy or too sensitive or too emotional. And there seems to be no red line for a character like Donald Trump and what he can do in his bid for leadership, and what a woman like Kamala Harris can do, where she needs to watch and carefully consider absolutely every single word she says or risk being cast aside as too risky.
Or a childless cat lady.
A childless cat lady, yes, that too. After 11 years of these awards, we're still doing these awards. We're still celebrating women's leadership and elevating it as well, and every day we will continue to cover some of these realities facing women and girls, but we'll also report on the wins, because there have been plenty of wins this year as well. I quickly go to the Paris Olympics, and our women led Australia to being 3rd on that medal tally. We're seeing a lot more talk about menopause and endometriosis and a lot more investment in women's health as well, which is great to see. Legislated pay rises as well for early childhood educators. And if I can call this a win, and I know I don't want to call it a win, but the very fact that we're actually referring to Australia's national crisis of violence against women as a national crisis, as it should be considered. So congratulations again to all the finalists in the room here. We're so proud to have you here. It takes a lot to become a finalist in these awards. We do get hundreds of nominations, so please enjoy this and please celebrate this regardless of whether you win or not. And we know that we are not short. Yeah, those stats. We'll take another opportunity for that in a moment. Quickly, I want to thank our judges. Chaired by Shirley Chowdhury, who you'll hear from shortly, the amazing Shirley, who will come up and share a little bit more about the judges and that thank you there. But Shirley, thank you so much for being involved again. And to our MC, Luli Adiyemo. Sorry.
Adiyemo.
Luli Adiyemo, the 2023 winner of the Emerging Leader in Tech Award last year. And as soon as she gets on stage, or I might say as soon as she got on stage last year, Tarla and I were like, we need to have her in our lives, just generally, but also at this awards next time. So thank you so much for doing this. We know it's a tough job. And a quick thank you also to our team. So we don't usually do this kind of events thing or big events like this. We tend to be stuck on computers doing stories and the like. So thank you to Madeline Hislop, Alison Ho, Cara Stanley, Brianna Boaker, Olivia Cleal, Danushi Diaz and Jessie too, who are all somewhere in the room tonight. Thank you. And big thank you to Mathuri Santhi Morgan, our event manager, who I think many of you have gotten to know over the past few weeks. Thank you so much for all your work and your passion and commitment for making this program happen. We should get out of here now.
100%.
Yeah. Thank you,
so
everybody.
Much.